Hi, it's Micky Dolenz here. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
So we're here at Star Wars, Disneyland. We're in the land of Star Wars. My God. If you ever get a chance, you've got to come out here and really, really immerse yourself in this experience. It's astounding. Here's this life-size Millennium Falcon here. We're standing in line to ride on Millennium Falcon. There's stormtroopers walking all over the place. There's battle damage on the side of the buildings. I mean, they put so much detail into this thing. It's incredible. Dad, what are your thoughts of this place so far?
Oh, this is just a kind of a dream come true. After seeing Star Wars with Kurt when he was a little guy, for him to bring me here is just full circle, and it's wonderful.
It was so great. Yesterday we were watching Mandalorian. We watched almost all the episodes. Just did a big old marathon of all the Mandalorian episodes as soon as he got into town. And and now we're here today in Star Wars land. We have one episode of Mandalorian left to go. So when we get home tonight, we're going to watch that and catch up on that. I mean, this entire world here is just so incredible. My friend Robin, who helps us out with the drums and everything for Yachtly Crew, he comes here all the time, and he said he saw Chewbacca here.
Oh, man.
So I hope we get a chance to see Chewbacca and take a photo with him. I think that would be awesome. What other kinds of Star Wars characters do you think might be roaming around here, Dad?
Well, I'd like to see Darth Vader, and what were those little guys that we saw on Mandalorian?
Oh, the Jawas.
The Jawas.
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be great to see some Jawas. Oh my God.
And the big blob. What was that?
Jabba
the Hutt.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great. Oh yeah.
In fact, I think I have seen some of Jabba's offspring.
It's it'd be great. You end up going through a door, and then all of a sudden there he is. There's Jabba the Hutt sitting on there. That'd be great.
Munching on a triple cheeseburger.
Yeah. I would love for someone to translate. Those look like words or a certain language up on the wall. Look at that. Yeah, you can tell there's a blaster fight. They got the battle damage up there. Gosh, that's so cool. I think that's what is the thing that I think I'm starting to realize what makes The Mandalorian so cool is the fact that it... Oh, sir, you can...
I'm sorry.
No. How that they show the battle damage, like the worn down, like in the original Star Wars. It looked like it had a history to it, like it had been through, a bunch. The ship was in a bunch of dogfights or was just shot at. And I think that's what Mandalorian. It looks like it's retaining that kind of aspect about it. What were you going to say?
I see like this door over here.
Oh yeah,
that was in The Mandalorian.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's the one where they tries to squeeze it shut on that that big guy with the horn sticking out.
Oh, that's right.
But The Mandalorian has just kept the same flavor, and the same character as the original Star Wars movie. And it would just dovetail right into it. In fact, I'd like to go see the Star Wars movie again. I don't think I have a copy of it, but
the original?
Let's
watch it when we get back. We can watch that Mandalorian episode, and then we'll watch the original Star Wars.
Okay, all right. Boy, see it together once more now that we're both adults.
Yeah. This is absolutely incredible. If you ever get a chance to come out here, you have got to come out here to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. That's my commercial. What kind of dinner did you get, Jen?
Orange chicken.
Orange chicken.
How come you got a bowl? I didn't get a bowl.
I don't know.
Did you get oranges in there, or just
one little orange.
juice?
Just one orange and like a sweet and sour sauce, orangey sauce. It was just the right amount of food, though. I'm full now.
Is it rice in there?
Brown.
I still remember, like, when Josh and I would come walking down the hallway and she was already in her bedroom. And I just imagine you were probably just sitting there awake. And so as we walked down the hallway, she's like, hey, boys, ask Mom, ask Mom if I could just stay awake 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes.
I never wanted to go to bed. And then I didn't want to get up. I don't know why. Or I thought Mom would yell at me or something. I don't know why I didn't just get up out of bed and be like, Mom, I don't want to, So I'd wait for one of them, because my door wasn't closed all the way. It was, there was still like a little crack. So I could kind of peer. I'd be in bed, and I'd kind of like wait for them. Like, Kurt, ask Mom if I can stay up a little bit longer.
Yeah. 5 more minutes.
Did
5
you?
more minutes. Yeah, we'd ask Mom.
And?
I think sometimes it worked. Sometimes you did let her. 5 more minutes. I love it. Like a little kid even knows what 5 minutes means, but it was just like that idea of like, oh, I'm buying some more time to just hang out there.
I don't know why I didn't.
I loved it. It was awesome.
I thought I was missing out on something.
Right.
Well, your brothers were up, and you wanted to be up because they were up.
That's probably why.
I remember it was always comforting to me to go to sleep with the sound of you and Mom out there watching TV, just knowing that someone was out there and awake, and
like you were protected and you were
it was a comforting sound. I'd fall asleep to the sound of you two talking, or the sound of whatever was playing at that time, Johnny Carson or what have you.
Who did Toffee sleep with?
I don't know.
I don't know if she ever slept with me. I think.
How about the cats?
I think they kind of slept with everybody.
Oh.
Oscar the cat would. A lot of times he'd sleep right next to me, curl up in a little ball, just like right next to me in my bed. It's funny, ever since the situation with having Zeke in the house, then I have the 3 cats in my room usually, and then Zeke gets to walk around in the house and kind of have to stretch out.
At nighttime, we try to.
And so now it's funny because as soon as I put the cats in my room, Oliver just plops down right in the middle, like up near the pillow. Like, this is my spot.
I miss sleeping with him at night. He was always my little cuddle buddy.
Well, which
Marky
cat is
too.
yours?
Allie and Marky are mine. The orange one, and then the tabby with his little belly.
His little belly. Swaying
They're
back.
mine. Gonzo is
like
his.
a little pendulum.
And then the black one, Zeke, is Brittany's. But yeah, they would always cuddle with me and sleep with me at night. But then since her cat came, then they have.
It's so crazy just how every cat has their own personality and their own thing that they like to do or not do, or how they go about doing it. It's so interesting.
You want to try pieces?
Yeah.
I'm full. You can have the whole thing if you want. It's good. It's got like a crispy outer
Is that like
part.
a chicken thing?
You want some?
Chicken,
Oh, no.
It's like a chicken
I'm
nugget.
totally full. Chicken nugget.
Chicky nugget.
Chicken nugget. Chicken nugget. Jay and I just keep finding ways of making words. What's the word I want to think of? Words that. Finding ways of altering words so that we cringe when we both say them and when we hear them said out loud. So, a lot of times where Johnny's like, That is gross. That's gross. I'm like, I know.
He likes to gross me out by...
Now let me go further and farther with it. Let's see how far we can stretch it.
Yeah.
Because I know that what I'm doing
with
is
voices
grossing me out.
Or, yeah.
Like, I'm like, ugh, if I heard someone doing this right now, I would totally just go, oh, that's cringy. So I'm going to completely embody that thing and just see how Jenny reacts to that. Oh, my God. Chicky Muggy.
And that just makes him laugh more and do even more...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Gross stuff.
Oh, God. Yeah.
His voices.
Just like words and just that are like...
Or just like gross voices he'll do. Just like,
I was asking Kurt today if you two came up with that routine, the Chinese stuff.
Yeah, he thought that this was something that we had pre-planned.
Something that you did
just totally improvised.
So the way you were bouncing off each other.
And I was like, yeah, Dad, we just improvised that. That was just fully improvised.
yeah.
We're used to being able to...
And it went like that. And all of a sudden, the drill instructor stopped the whole squadron, and he came up to me and he got this close to me and just started chewing on me.
Why?
Well, because
you wiped sweat off your face?
Because I moved. I wasn't.
You're
not supposed to do anything unless you get permission or something. You have to do the march. You can't do anything else.
As you had sweat pouring down your face, you just quickly swiped the sweat off, and he started screaming at you. What did he say? What the heck?
It was... I don't even remember.
Like, don't you wipe that sweat off your face again? Or what?
What are you doing moving in formation? You know damn well that da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, my gosh.
There used to be this TV show called Gomer Pyle, USMC.
Oh, yeah.
And he always had the drill instructor screaming at him, and that's the first thing I thought of was Gomer Pyle, and I almost laughed in his face. I had to...
You're like, right now, I am Gomer
if
Pyle.
I'd have laughed in his face, who knows what he would have done to me.
You're getting, what, latrine duty? What do they call that when you had to scrub the toilets or whatever?
Latrine duty.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
You're latrine queen for today.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Were there any other times like that where you accidentally, didn't realize what the heck?
That was the last time. That was the last time.
So from that point forward, you just let the sweat roll down your face from that point forward?
Yeah.
But sometimes sweat will tickle, you're like, it kind of, it's like a little something crawling
on your nose, you're like,
right.
something.
It's like it becomes like a little icicle on there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so crazy.
Experience. And then this one time, this was the weirdest thing. We're marching along from the chow hall back to the barracks. We're marching along and it starts raining. And, well, you just bear up to it and keep going. You march in the rain. The drill instructor was obviously getting soaked like the rest of us. And it was real odd that his socks started foaming. Like when he washed his socks, he didn't rinse them out. So that the rain was causing the soap to reactivate.
Oh my gosh.
And he didn't know it.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody
knows it but him.
The flight is noticing this.
Oh my God.
And he's wondering, what the hell's going on. So I think he stopped us, and he must have asked somebody, like one of the flight leaders, what's everybody laughing at? And he pointed to his socks. All right, everybody, back in formation. Left, right, He just...
Oh, he saw some of the guys snickering? He couldn't get what was going on?
Couldn't figure out what was happening.
Oh my gosh. I think that's one of the funniest things when, like, someone's trying to be a cool guy and then they accidentally trip over something, or they're like, they're yelling and then they accidentally fart, or they, there's like something where you're going, oh my God, you just I can't take you seriously now.
Yeah, you just lost your cool.
Yeah, you just lost your cool, man. You got soapy socks. Like, I'm not going to listen to a man who's got soapy socks. Soapy socks. Oh my gosh.
So he had a tough time living that down.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And then one of our drill instructors, Sergeant Sterling, the guy was impeccable all the time. Uniform was perfect. The way he had his hat was perfect. He had one of those Smokey Bear hats, that was
Oh, yeah.
round.
Yeah.
And his shoes looked like mirrors. They just gleamed.
Oh, wow. They're so shiny.
So highly
huh?
polished. And he was always that way, no matter when you saw him, day or night.
Wow.
And periodically, I'm going to need another break.
Okay.
Periodically, we had to have fire drills in the middle of the night.
Oh, unexpected, huh?
Right. So at 3 a.m., the fire bell goes off, and he's walking through the barracks, shaking the beds, making sure everybody wakes up and gets out. And and he's impeccable. He's perfect. Everybody gets outside and gets in formation, and he looks at his watch and he says, "You took too long." So we all go back to bed. He waits maybe an hour till everybody falls asleep, and he does it again.
Oh my gosh.
You guys, you got to cut off about 20 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
So we had that for a couple of nights in a row until we learned to wake up really quick and get up and get out of bed and get the heck out into
And I
the
wonder
parking
sometimes
lot.
too how many of those drill instructors, were bullied when they were in school, and now this is their time to really get back, at people,
Could
get
be.
back at
Yeah.
society and
Could be.
play tricks on them, and force them to do stuff that. It's so funny. It's like you have one guy who's screaming at a whole bunch of people, and at any point, any one of those people can put that dude in the headlock who's screaming and go,
Sure.
"No, we're not going to do that," and all of us here agree. We're going to lock you in here, and we're not going to, we're taking over.
Yeah.
It's so funny. There's so many more followers than there are leaders, and
Well-
and that's the interesting kind of thing with.
when you go into the military, I mean, like the Marines, you kind of know what to expect. You're giving yourself over to them.
Right,
So-
you're allowing yourself to become their puppet, I guess.
If you resist, you'll get disciplinary action
Uh-huh.
up to a number of times, and then they'll say, "Get out."
Oh,
They'll kick you out.
they'll kick you out of the military?
Yeah,
That's all you got to do?
they put you through hell. I
Oh.
mean, the disciplinary action will be really tough.
Mm-hmm.
They won't hurt you, but they'll make you do push-ups or other exercises until you want to die, and then keep it up.
What
But
happens if someone just refuses? I'm just not doing those push-ups. That's just no matter
I
what you
honestly
do.
don't know. I don't.
No one's ever
I don't
tested
know.
the consequence.
Well,
huh?
I'm sure they have, but I'm not aware of what the consequences were.
Wow, that's so interesting.
But when you go in the military, you know to expect those things,
Right.
and you want to achieve your goal of graduating from basic training and moving on to your technical training,
Oh, gotcha.
and then finally get stationed somewhere. I'm sure these drill instructors, they've seen, tens of thousands of guys, and they know they've seen the same story over and over, and they know how to handle them.
Mm-hmm. What other kinds of interesting stories can you think of right now that, like your buddy in Florida that you were talking about?
Yeah.
What kinds of crazy things have you guys?
Well, this
Got
one
you.
isn't us together, but there were times when we'd compete with each other on certain things. Mostly I shouldn't say mostly, but partially the women that we dated.
Right.
But this one time, I was overseas at in Taiwan, and our squadron of C-130 cargo aircraft were carrying the Bob Hope troop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, throughout Vietnam.
Whoa. And then he'd go on tour and
Thailand.
stuff, huh?
Yeah, he would.
For the troops?
Yes, yeah.
And you guys were the ones who were chauffeuring him around?
Yes, our airplanes, yes.
Whoa.
And so he put on a show on our base,
Wow.
and I was as close to him as maybe that bend up there.
Wow.
And he had Connie Stevens.
Oh.
She was there. Oh, she is a doll. Cutest blonde, real perky, and she sings. She was up there. And a number of other acts. And I thought, wow, this is cool. James isn't here. He's on TDY. TDY means temporary duty. So I figured he was off in Thailand fixing airplanes. And I thought, what'll I tell him? I saw Bob Hope.
What'll I tell him?
Well, turns out he was on the plane carrying Bob
Oh
Hope.
my gosh. Oh my God.
And he said he got to meet
Oh my
Connie
God.
Stevens and give her a hug and
Oh
kiss.
jeez. Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. I love it.
So it was like,
man.
wah, wah.
Yeah. Joke's on me. Didn't expect that one. Oh man. That is great.
And he always reminds me of that.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Wow, we reached it. We are here
Yeah.
at the world famous
Yeah.
observatory.
I need a bench or stairs or something. Yeah, why don't they have benches? That's weird. Are they afraid
You would think that they
Someone's
would, huh?
to sleep at them?
So Jen, that James Dean sculpture over there, I met that was that party where I met Weird Al. That he's the guy that I met. He was the sculptor of that. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And wasn't Jimmy Byron, wasn't he a real fan of James Dean?
You know what's so funny? From what I've gathered, he wasn't really a big fan of James Dean. He just happened to look a lot like him. And then it was so funny because he ended up finding himself out in Indiana. Where was it? Fairmont or something? I think that's the name of it. I don't know. Indiana, where they have the James Dean Museum, and he became friends with the guys there who run the museum. And they actually let him wear James Dean's clothes and stuff.
No kidding.
And so it was out there that he met Pamela DeBar. I think that's her name.
But just a minute. Byron was over 6 feet tall. James Dean was about your height.
Oh,
Yeah. So whatever he wore, it must have been
really short on him.
Yeah, real short.
Oh my gosh.
Or real tight. Or
But they just thought he was the greatest because he looked like James Dean, and they're all these James Dean fanatics, of course. And then Pamela DeBar, who she so you know the character Penny. Have you ever seen Almost Famous? There's this movie called Almost Famous, and there's a girl called Penny Lane, and she's like a groupie, but she doesn't call herself a groupie. She calls herself a Band-Aid.
okay.
And so she's based off of Pamela DeBar.
Was that Hudson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Goldie Hawn's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I did.
And so
see it.
Pamela DeBar, she was with dudes from Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix, all these people. She would just follow around these bands, and she wrote a book all about it, and being this big groupie and stuff. And so through Jimmy, somehow, because he met her out there in Indiana, somehow
She wasn't just a character; she was a real person.
Pamela DeBar was a real person.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Kate Hudson's character was based off of her, and so Jimmy somehow talked with her, and he found out that she was having a birthday party or something, and somehow I ended up getting invited to this thing. And it was a bunch of James Dean, fanatics. There were, I guess it was like a club of these folks. So it was mostly just people who loved James Dean and had some sort of history with him.
Yeah.
And so I go to this house, and all these, I'm just there by myself, all these people, and I see sitting on the couch this guy who's all dressed in black, and he's got this black hat, and he's got this big white beard, and above him, it was so funny, above him was a painting, right behind him was of Walt Whitman, who looked exactly like him.
Oh.
So there was like this old photo of Walt Whitman sitting on a tree trunk, and I'm like, what a strange, like here's this dude who looks just like Walt Whitman, and then there's a Walt Whitman, and I ended up finding out that guy, Kenneth Kendall is his name. He's a sculptor, and he's the one who sculpted that James Dean head, and he sculpted Marlon Brando, and he's just a painter, and he's passed now, but he was just a painter and a sculptor, and so I got to talk with him about how he met James Dean and stuff, and he's like, he was talking about how after meeting James Dean or something, he's like, and then James gave me that beautiful smile with those pearly whites, and then he left. And he told me this story like 3 times in a row, and I said, "Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I think I'm gonna go get a drink." At some point you're just like, "Okay, you're repeating the same story." But then it was at that party that Don Johnson walked in the door. Apparently, he had dated Pamela DeBar long ago, and I didn't realize that. I'm like, "Oh my God, there's Don Johnson," and then
Miami Vice.
And then at some point, I see this long-haired, curly-haired guy, and his back is to me, and I hear him talking to people. He's like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go now. It's nice meeting you guys. And I thought, that sounds like Weird Al. And I walked up, and it was Weird Al Yankovic, and he was just a tiny little bit taller than me. I said, "Holy cow, Weird Al! You're at this party. This is fantastic. This is exciting." First I see Don Johnson earlier. Now you're here. I loved Miami Vice. I loved your music growing up. I still love your music. This is so cool that you're here. And he's like, "Oh, well, thank you." And
he was
shook
polite
his hand
and nice,
just a really cool
gracious.
dude.
That's good. Some of them are assholes.
Yeah.
When you meet them.
So I was so pleased that he was a really nice guy, and so every time I see that sculpture, I think of Kenneth Kendall, and just how cool it was that they decided to put his. Oh, because that's right, because they shot Rebel Without a Cause here, that movie. That's why James Dean's head is here.
Okay. Yeah, I wondered what the connection was. Weren't you at a party where Busey showed up?
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, I was. He was
a jerk.
He was kind of strange, we talked a little bit at the table.
Yeah,
and he would ask me a question, and as I'm in the middle of answering, he just got up and walked away. It was so funny. He's just a very, very, interesting person.
Maybe he, he has a problem with what do they call that? It's like a schizophrenic disorder or attention deficit disorder.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he just loses interest real fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, there's a squirrel.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I think we worked off breakfast.
Yeah.
I didn't wear my Fitbit, but it would have gone crazy. I'd like to do a selfie of the 3 of us with the building in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great.
And put that on Instagram, darn it.
Yeah, that's right.
I read the letters on that truck real fast, and I thought it said recreation pranks.
I love it. We specialize in recreation pranks. That's awesome. That's my job title, recreational prankster.
I wonder who those men are supposed to be in that...
famous scientists of the days. Copernicus is up there, and what's that guy? Newton? I think he's up there.
Fig Newton.
Fig Newton. He invented because the apple fell on his head. He goes, "Oh, how do I put this into a little Newton?"
Put this into a cookie cake.
So people think the epiphany was gravity, but it was actually to make the Fig Newtons, and then the epiphany for gravity came later. Fig Newton. I mean, just what a funny name. Want a picture in front of the Hollywood sign?
Yeah.
You guys went to Chicago so many times. We did. And we went to every museum.
So, Dad, usually when people would come into town, I'd take them up here, show them around and everything. And the observatory used to have a like a periscope that you could look through, and it would come out of here, and you could see all of what was going on out there, like out in the world out there. And
They closed it?
yeah, they stopped or they took out the periscope, but I thought, oh man, because you could actually see, because it was like, you could see, it was like a telescope basically. You could see like the roofs of buildings and stuff, and I remember just having this image of how cool that would be, this idea for a movie where a guy just sees a beautiful woman like up on a rooftop or something, sunbathing or something.
And
he's
how
like,
can he possibly get there?
how do I get over there, and where's that in relation to where I'm at? And so I thought that'd be kind of a fun premise for a movie, of him trying to figure out, trying to triangulate where this building is, and could he even find the building? Will she still be there when he gets there? Will they have chemistry? Will she be taller than him? Will she already have a husband? You never know. So every time I come up here, I think about that again. And then I think it's this. I think they got the telescope in there. I think sometimes they'll let you go in there, the big one, and you can see, they'll let you look through there and see, like, Jupiter or what have you.
Do they have classes here where they have people come in? And
That's a great idea. I don't know.
To see whatever is.
The classes about astronomy, or that would be pretty cool. That'd be really cool.
This was our trail? That's a different one, Jen? That one over there? Or... Gosh,
But
they're all over the place, aren't they?
Yeah.
Jenny's a pro. She knows these like the back of her hand. Wow. Looks so cool the way that the sun is now coming through, and just you see these beams of light. It's so crazy because like all these little coagulations, these little cities, they're just kind of like shrouded in this darkness right now.
Very bright. Waited, and then our two friends went and found these people. They had to climb up a mountain, found these people, and were able to call 911.
So while you were with them, or did they tell you this story?
No, I was with them when this happened.
You were with them.
We heard people yelling out, "Help!" So me and my friend took our friend's dogs and held them.
Oh.
Well, our two other friends went up and climbed up this mountain.
And tried to find a lady who's yelling help?
To find these two people, and they had to get one of those.
Oh.
And so we went all the way down, and we could see the helicopters going to pick them up.
Oh, my gosh.
But we couldn't actually see where it was because it was too,
So how far up did your friends have to travel to find a lady?
I don't know. It wasn't that big of a mountain, but it was probably like half that size. But I guess the women just got lost, and then they were just exhausted and couldn't make their way back down. And
So she must have heard you talking or something.
Yeah.
And she said, "Help! Somebody."
Yeah. So our friends got a helicopter ride.
That's great.
Back down, yeah. It was Jess, my friend that lives in Tennessee now, the one that I went to go visit when I was out there.
Yeah, it's so crazy. The recreations parks guy was saying that this stuff happens all the time. People, a hiker will fall off the thing, or and the cell phone reception up here is very, very spotty.
Yeah.
So they're very lucky, if they get any sort of
there's been times where
reception.
I've got no reception when I'm hiking. Okay.
You would think cell phone reception would be good with, having the towers.
Yeah.
I don't see any towers. Maybe they don't allow towers because of the ugliness of them.
Oh.
Who knows? But if they would make it and then camouflage it with a tree, with tree branches or something like that.
Wow. Do you think they picked up the person? Is that why the helicopter is going away, you think?
I think he's waiting around for this guy to... Well, I didn't see... Well, maybe the firefighters probably had something to put the person on.
Oh. Like a gurney?
Yeah.
Wow. Even though the Griffith Park Observatory is not open, there still is a main attraction. It must be opening up soon if all these people are showing up right now. Look at buses, ambulance.
Jeez, those guys had to hike up there and all their gear and everything.
You think there's another one over there that's trapped now?
I hope not.
I hope not either.
He could just be kind of hovering there because...
He go pee in the corner.
Oh, my God.
It's also kind of nice for them to be like not worried on it.
Wow, wait.
I'll have to look later in the news and see if...
Yeah, maybe that's
Yeah. How crazy.
Still see a bunch of people up there.
Wow. You ever tried to hike to the top of that mountain, Jenny?
I don't think I've ever been up that one. I don't know which one that is.
I'd feel like that would feel like such a victory to be able to climb up such a steep...
A map of these trails, and then
No.
you kind of check them off as you hike them.
I kind of keep track of some of them, yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Wow, I gotta say, I just dropped my dad off at the airport. That was a lot of fun having him out here. Probably ought to have podcasted him more. However, I had fun recording him, hearing his thoughts about the days of Air Force. And I was able to get some footage of him dressed as Henry D. Horse out in the backyard. As some of you know, he is the voice of Henry D. Horse. He did some more fun facts for me while he was in town, some Star Wars ones. Actually, you know what? I'll put one after this little segment here, so you can hear what that's all about. Just for a little sneak peek for you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that footage, and I'll probably just keep reusing that footage of him and of Henry D. Horse, and then put the audio of his fun facts, just lay him underneath. So that'll be a lot of fun putting those up on Instagram. By the way, Inspirado Projecto is on Instagram. I'm noticing more and more folks on Spotify actually subscribing to my podcast, to Inspirado Projecto. This completely excites me. I've got 48 people now full-on subscribed to listening to each episode. Thank you. This, as many of you know, this is my journal. This is my audio diary for the archives, for future generations, for my future self. Now, let's say, for instance, when I come back reincarnated, I'm implanting this idea right now, so my higher mind remembers this, and we can make an agreement that when I come back in my next life, I can go back and listen to this stuff. Because think about that. Think about how many lives you've lived already. How many different incarnations have you had already? Will my next life even be on this planet? It might be on a different planet. I don't know. I'm walking past a truck right now. They left their lights on in the daytime, of all things. In the olden days, I used to check the door to see if it was unlocked, and I just reach in there and turn off the lights. But in this day and age, there are alarms. And that's kind of an interesting predicament to be in, isn't it? If you think about that. Do I risk? So the intention is to help the person out. The intention is to just simply reach in there, turn off the lights, close the door, and off on your way. Now, if someone doesn't know what your intention is, and they see you fishing around in someone else's car, or heck, even if it's the owner of the car themselves, ideally, if it is the owner of the car, then you can explain to them what your intention was, what your motivation was. And the next step, ideally, would be that they believe in your good nature. So that's the thing. Do you risk going out of your way to do a good duty? Do you risk that for the possibility of getting caught and getting in trouble? I've done this several times throughout my life. Because I tell you what, if my door happened to be unlocked, where I grew up in Chicago, people rarely lock their car doors. So you could do that. But now, cars have alarms. People might think that you're trying to sabotage them. I don't know. However, I'd like that. I wouldn't mind that. If my car was not locked and I accidentally left the lights on and someone opened the door and turned off the lights for me, holy moly. I'd be so grateful. Some folks have jumper cables in their cars, which is great. Some folks have jumper cables, which is great, and they'll help you out. Oh, to get back to the past life situation. So, who knows what other past lives you've lived? Who knows what future lives you're going to live? So, hello. Where are you going up to? It's like you're going up. Did you just get back from the grocery store? Oh, you're just getting back. I see. Oh, I thought it looked like you were carting that up someplace. You're welcome. My dad was just in town from Florida. Yeah, I just dropped him off at the airport. He had a wonderful time here. It was so great.
Where is he coming from?
Florida. He lives in Florida now. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun to be able to bring him up to your Universal City Walk. Oh, it was so much fun.
That's nice.
Yeah. Well, you take care. Bye. So imagine how many past lives, future lives. Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool to know what your past lives were up to? What if one of your past lives wrote a kick-ass book? What if one of your past lives was Mark Twain? Holy moly. Oh, man. What if one of your past lives was Nostradamus? Wouldn't that be crazy? You end up going back and you end up reading what he wrote. And you go, oh, my God, that's exactly how I write. That's my language right there. That's my language. My whole life, people have been saying, wow, what interesting language you have. What insane psychic abilities you possess, being able to prophesy these particular things. Kitty. No. You tried to sneak outside, didn't you? Didn't you? All right, more later. I am so excited to let y'all know we just got this in. If you're on Instagram, you might have seen this. These are the Yachtly Crew tour dates that we've got for 2020, and then plus, obviously, we're going to be having more on its way. This is just what we've got so far. Okay, so we're calling it the Batten Down the Hatches Tour. February 1st, Morro Bay, California at the Siren. March 6th in Tempe, Arizona at the Marquee Theater, which is so crazy because I saw Micky Dolenz at the Marquee Theater with my friend Dory, and she said, you know what? I can imagine Yachtly Crew playing at the Marquee Theater. You got to try to see if you could play at the Marquee Theater. And bam, all of a sudden, here we are. March 7th in Yuma, Arizona at midnight at the Oasis. March 13th, San Diego, California at the Music Box. March 20th, Ventura, California at the Majestic Ventura Theater. March 21st at the Whiskey A Go-Go. How cool is that? We're going to be playing on the same stage as The Doors and Motley Crue and Van Halen, all these bands from way back in the day. I envisioned that this one day would occur. March 28th, San Juan Capistrano, California at the Coach House. That's another stage. We were there and we saw that Michael McDonald had played on that stage. Christopher Cross, all these great musicians had played on that stage. We saw these photos of them. Maybe we'll get a photo of us on their wall too. April 2nd, Manhattan Beach, California at the Roadhouse Aquarium. How cool is that? We're going to be playing in an aquarium. April 11th in Hermosa Beach, California at St. Rock. May 2nd, Dania Beach, Florida at Stage 954. May 9th, Waterloo, New York, The Vine at Del Largo. May 16th, are you kidding me? Atlantic City, New Jersey, Tropicana. May 16th, that's the day that Andy Kaufman faked his death. I'm going to be playing, oh my God. I'm going to be playing on stage on the same date that my utmost favorite, one of my top favorite entertainers, I'll say pranksters, one of my top favorite pranksters, in addition to Bob Pagani and Alan Abel. That's the day he faked his death. We're going to be on stage playing. My God, this is nuts. June 6th in Lone Pine, California at the Lone Pine Resort. June 26th, Chicago, Illinois at the Rosemont Parkway Bank Park. So this means any of my friends out there in Rosemont, any of my friends out there in Chicagoland area, and my friends in Carroll Stream, Glen Ellen, Elgin, Wheaton. I mean, gosh, anybody that I've known, that I met between the years of 1973 to 2000, before I moved out to California, anybody that I might know, please, consider coming out and being a part of the Yachtly Crew show, because holy moly, I'd love to see you there. It'd be an extraordinary reunion. Extraordinary reunion. Oh man, extraordinary. I just can't wait. Oh man, this is just gonna be so crazy. I'd love to see you out there. And if you think that there's anyone that I may have known that we went to school with, that you're friends with, like for instance, my friend Renee from back in elementary school, Renee, she is coming out. She lives out, I don't even remember what state now. She's coming out from whatever that state is, joining forces with my elementary school teacher, Mrs. Dargatz, and the two of them are going to come out and see us play Yachtly Crew. I mean, one of my oldest friends and an elementary school teacher? How the heck does she even remember who I am? It's nuts, man. It's so crazy. Wow, man. Wow. So you folks, any of the dates I've mentioned, and I still got a couple more, any of those dates I mentioned and any of those places, if you live near there, mark them on your calendars, look out for them. Then we got 8/8. Oh my God, are you kidding me? August 8th. August 8th. My absolute favorite number of all time, 8. 8 is infinity, folks. If you haven't heard me just gush over infinity, there you go. Burbank, California, at the Starlight Bowl Amphitheater. Oh, we had such a fun time that last time. We'd love to get the Grace Band to open up for us again. Oh, and then August 21st, we're going to be in Pala, California, at the Pala Casino. So there are more dates on the way, but holy moly, matrimony. I'm blown away. I'm so honored, so blessed to be a part of this. And I can't wait to share this with you. All you 311 cruisers out there, you know who you are. You met Stony Shores on many occasions. Come on out. Check us out. Can't wait to see you. That is all for now. Talk to you later. Stay inspired. Please follow your heart. And do what you can, and looking up videos and about how to redefine your perceptions of reality. Look up some helpful ones: Bashar, Dolores Cannon, Abraham Hicks. Check them out and see how it affects you. All right, folks. Take care. And if you want to be featured on this podcast, email your audio to inspiradoprojecto@gmail.com, or you can call the hotline at 561-203-9179 and leave your message on there. Take care.
Hello, Inspirado Projecto Radio.
Facebook put me in a digital prison. They would not let me post, comment, or like, so I could only observe what was happening around me as if I was looking through bars in a prison cell. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. Thank you for putting me in this digital prison and making me realize just how the internet isn't free.
The internet superhighway, they said it was free. They said it was like going in a library, bringing your card, checking out some books, and bringing them home. Getting some CDs, getting some movies, a newspaper. Remember, you used to go to the library to get a newspaper? So, Inspirado, is the internet really free? Man behind the machine.
You know, man behind the machine, it's during these types of times where I reflect to myself and I think, well, if it is up to me to manifest my own reality, despite the statistics, despite the odds, despite the privacy issues, despite the security issues, despite the any of that jazz, I'd like to believe, I hold on to this idea, that if it is truly up to me, truly up to each and every single individual creator, being here on Earth, who's aware of this type stuff, I mean, really, if it is up to us to manifest our own realities, and each sort of paradigm is relative unto itself, I'd like to believe that it'd be possible to still be prosperous and abundance-filled, with ease, relaxation, and trusting the process of that manifestation of reality, of the most, ideal, preferred reality type situation. I'd like to believe that it will unfold for us towards that positive outcome, just as if we were to worry and get scared and allow ourselves to get frustrated and pissed off, and trust me, it happens to me too every time I think about that type of stuff. I think if we were to allow our minds to feel unempowered, that our fate is up to some other, the government out there, what have you, the spies among us, then that's completely powerless, and we might as well just go jump off a bridge. That's not a very good psychology to have. So I've found that when I put that power back into my own hands and choose to redefine how I'm looking at things and go, okay, you know what? These are just things that just happen to be these earthbound rules and regulations. If I play with the idea, if I continue to play with the idea that my relationship with the universe exceeds the power of the stranglehold and the rules and limitations that the earth has put upon me, if I like to believe the fact that the unseen and the invisible and the unknown, there's a lot more of that than there is of this material world, and the fact that the unseen world, this consciousness that moves along behind it, is what actually brings about what's here in my conscious reality, then I'd like to believe. And then you add with that the idea of parallel universes, quantum mechanics, all these possibilities. You bring that into play, and you go, okay, you know what? I'm gonna spell cast here. I'm gonna stir up the cauldron. I'm gonna call into existence. I'm gonna use my Jedi powers. I'm gonna work with the Force here, that unseen, beautiful, vibrant, spiritual, wavicles that are just frequencies and wavicles that are flowing through everything. If I'm to play with the idea that I'm going to connect with that and strengthen my relationship with that, and we work together into manifesting, materializing into my physical reality the more preferred outcomes, well then let's play more in that idea, because that idea feels really good to me. I love that idea. So I hope that helps answer your question.